Hello everybody, this is Christy Whitman with the Quantum Success Show, where you can get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And as you can see, I have a friend today. This is Dr. Judith Orloff, and Dr. Orloff is an assistant clinical professor of psychiatry at UCLA, and she has helped patients find emotional freedom for over 20 years. She has synthesized the pearls of traditional medicine with cutting-edge knowledge of intuition, energy, and spirituality to achieve physical and emotional healing. And the reason that she's here today, and I'm so excited about this, is because she's written a new book called The Ecstasy of Surrender, which I'm so excited to talk to you about. So thank you so much for being here, Judith.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm so excited. So let me ask you, why did you write your new book, The Ecstasy of Surrender?
Well, I wanted to write about surrender because it's such a powerful topic in my life. I thought, what can I devote 4 years to writing? What would I like to experience in my life? And it's the ability to let go, to not clench, to not hold on, to not push, to not be rigid, to be able to flow like water and trust and have faith and get in the zone and have fun and really live this life, in the center of all the currents. And so surrender is my goal and my ongoing meditation. It's very, very beautiful. And during this writing period, I've had to surrender so much unknowingly that I hadn't even expected. I had to surrender the house where I've written all my books because unrelenting noise and construction. I've kind of led a nomadic life for about a year. And this is very different than the normal nester that I am. And I've had to give up a lover, a therapist, gotten into a new relationship, surrendering to love. So all of this has been very active in my life. And I gave up all my possessions, which I felt like doing to kind of clear the air. So I'm living very light. And, it's a beautiful thing when you can let go, when it's the right time, not just arbitrarily, but it's obviously the right time for me. And when I write a book, I usually live it, and so, I've been living it very deeply, and even though the book is done and is about to come out, I still want that surrender to be my primary meditation. And you never know what's going to happen, but what I can guarantee you, I don't know what you will have to surrender once you've read this book, but I will guarantee you that your life will become amazingly better. And the results are enormous if you can stick with it and practice it. And trust is that surrender is a deep meditation on trust and flow and intuition and tuning into the pulse of life and tuning into your body. It's all of that. And so I've written many different chapters on how to apply surrender, from success in career to money to sexuality and relationships, to aging, illness, and death, the final surrender that we'll all have to do. You can't escape it.
Right.
And the Buddhists say that every moment of life is in preparation for that final surrender, and that we're just practicing, and everything we do, this moment between you and I, the surrendered moment, and everyone listening who surrendered to listening to us. If we can all be there 100%, you are making the most of this moment. You are living a maximally passionate life. And that's what, I hope people can get from the book, is to reclaim the passion on a moment-to-moment basis, because that's all you have is the moment. Then it's gone. That last moment is gone already. So, but to surrender to it and give your all to it, the wonder and awe of the whole situation here on earth.
Amazing. Well, I talk about the universal laws, and I think of the law of allowing, and surrendering is such a huge piece of the law of allowing. So that's why I wanted you to come and talk to what I call my family, my community, because it's such an important topic. And so many people, we hear that we have to surrender, but it's but how do you do that? So I'm so grateful that you wrote this book, because I've, read all of your books, and I know that when you write a book, you write a book. I mean, you really, you are very thorough in your book. And I love what you're saying. It's whatever given situation anybody has, we all need to surrender something at any moment.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, and just to lead your life in a more flowing way. But surrender is so important, particularly in relationships. I've worked with so many patients who want to be in a really committed, intimate relationship, but often have a hard time finding one. And once they find one, they have a hard time being in one.
Yes.
And and that's normal.
Yes.
I think relationship is the great mirror. But learning to surrender in relationships, is very powerful. And let's say you're not in a relationship and you want one. Part of the surrender for my patients has been, for instance, surrendering their attraction to unavailable people. Because the pattern of getting attracted to someone who's unavailable, that can take them years and years to go from one to the next.
Yes.
So surrendering that attraction, and I go through specific ways to do that, and opening up your heart to somebody who can really be there for you. Then once you find that person, surrendering your fear of intimacy. So it's one surrender after another. And how do you let somebody really in your heart? How can you surrender to somebody without giving up yourself, without giving up your life, without sacrificing something too important? How can you, really go back and forth with somebody and love them? There's a Rumi quote that I love, is that the point isn't to seek love, is to remove the barriers of love from your heart. And that, to me, is my goal, is to remove the barriers. You don't go out looking for love. You just remove the barriers in your own heart to it, and you try and feel it everywhere, even with people you don't like. There's a section in the book on how do you deal with energy vampires, how do you deal with difficult people with regard to surrender. Instead of, let's say you're dealing with an anger addict, do you just get angry back because you're right? No. I can't tell you how many times surrendering being right has helped me in my life. As clearly I'm right in certain situations, but being right is going to help me lose my goal.
Absolutely.
And so it's a very nuanced thing, but you have to surrender your need to be right at times in service of an overall goal. People have to ask themselves, what's your overall goal? And, you could be right, but you might lose your overall goal. You see, so it's the ego that needs to be right, but it's the surrendered heart, that wants to connect and that wants to be intimate. So it's very different. And surrendering can start in this very moment. It can be taking a deep breath instead of clenching. That big exhale is a surrender that you could do immediately. Or drinking a glass of water with mindfulness and revering that water as you drink it, that sacred water. That's a surrender. And other natural surrenders are orgasms. You have to surrender for an orgasm. Otherwise,
that's a great surrender. I like those surrenders.
Won't happen otherwise. Or laughing, you have to surrender to laughing.
Yes.
And sleeping, you have to surrender to changing levels of awareness when you sleep, because otherwise you won't be able to surrender to the different state of consciousness. All these things we know, the practical things in our lives. But what I'm suggesting is that people try to apply it with everything, that would be part of their spiritual tenets, part of their spiritual program. And a lot of people feel surrender won't work, and they stay away from it because they think that if they surrender something, they're going to be losing, failing, or being defeated.
It means loss. It means loss or something.
Yeah, that means loss.
Yeah.
And that's the old paradigm of thinking.
Yeah.
That's the old paradigm. You're in war, never surrender, that type of thing. But I'm talking about something totally different. Surrender isn't giving up anything, and it's not being weak or not giving up power. What it is being really smart and intuitive and tuning in to the right flow of your life to know when to move forward and when to move back. What relationships are good for you, which relationships aren't. There's a flow. Life is water. We're made of 2/3 water, and we need to attune to that. There's a chapter also in the book, which is my favorite chapter, which is surrendering to the natural world. And I go through the elements, air, fire, water, and earth, about how, I know.
Wonderful. Wow.
Nature. So the surrender to the four elements and the moon and the universe. That's a very powerful meditation for me.
Wow.
But part of surrender is attuning to your whole environment. The water, the clouds, everything. Your body. There's a chapter on surrendering to your body and surrendering self-loathing, self-criticism, all of that. So you can tune into the rhythms of the body and get into it, really dig it. You want to enjoy your life.
Yes.
You want to tune in. And if you're just pushing and constantly doing your to-do list, and that's all you have most of the day, that's not okay. That's not healthy for the body. Or staying by the computer, all the time, or checking, your iPhone all the time. That's not going to be in balance. You can do that sometimes. But the surrender is to let go of those things and be in the moment, simple and open and tuning into nature, being present with your friends, and learning how to deal with people, when to surrender with people, when to not, when to take a stand, and knowing also what not to surrender to. You have to make choices. There will be choices in your life which won't be as good as others. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go in that direction. You want to go towards the light. You want to go towards love. You want to go towards the most positive people, not the energy vampires. And if you're going through a process of dis-ease, you want to be able to surrender to your body and love it. You don't want to get into the negative thoughts or the catastrophic thinking or projecting into the future. When you're ill or when you're in pain, your friend is the moment. And you want to be able to surrender to that moment and relax in your body and your mind. What goes on in your mind has a huge effect on the body. The thoughts that are going on constantly.
Absolutely.
A huge effect. And so when you can surrender the negative thoughts to the best of your ability, your body will be very, very happy as they're connected. This and this, totally connected all the time. And your body hears what you think.
Absolutely.
It's an intelligent being.
Absolutely.
And so every time you have a negative thought about it, I'm too fat, I'm too this, I'm too that, it hears it. It's like, imagine like a person hearing, oh my God, she's telling me I'm too fat. So you want to be kind to your body and try and surrender over a period of a lifetime as much negativity as possible.
Well, I am so excited that you wrote this book because I know it's going to help so many people. I can't wait to dive into it myself because I even know, even last night as a parent, those moments of I need to just surrender this and the peace that comes with that and the fun that comes with that. So I hope everybody could just feel that feeling of surrender in your life. And Judith, thank you so much for being on the show. And I just want to tell everybody, please leave me a comment. Let me know how this information has impacted you. And let me know. Let's continue the conversation. Like, what are you going to surrender in your life? What are you, after listening to Judith and myself talk, like, what do you feel like, yeah, this is a big point. Like, it's heavy on my heart. I really do need to surrender this. So, Judith, thank you so much. I wish you so much success on this book. I know it's going to help so many people.
Yes, and people can get it at my website, which is Judith Orloff, ORLOFF.com, and there are a lot of free gifts associated with the purchasing of the book, too, that I think you'll enjoy, and any bookstore or online outlet.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I'll also put the link under the video for your website. So appreciate you so much. I so appreciate the work that you do out in the world because, like I said, your books are life-changing. There's so much depth in there that I know this is going to be one of those things that really makes a huge shift. So thank you for being our guest and for being here.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
Thank you.